Back on the SportsMax Zone, Cavalier and Waterhouse hold slight advantages heading into the second leg of the Jamaica Premier League semi-final playoffs on Wednesday at the JFF Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence in St Andrew. And let's go now to Dewight Jeremiah to talk about what happened on Saturday. Two narrow victories, one for Cavalier and one for Waterhouse. Significantly, Dewight, which is something we discussed on Friday when we were previewing the matches, the two teams that were idle and waiting for the playoffs to see who would join them, had the better results. Your thoughts?
Yeah, before now we felt what we had seen before in the regular round, the preliminary round, when the teams went into a rest and come back, they found it difficult to get going. But as I had hinted on Friday, was that the playing field was somewhat leveled by the fact that the teams they were playing or going to play, they would have had a lot of games over a short period. It would have been their third game in 8 days. Ideally, you want 72 hours recovery. They weren't going to get that coming out of the last game. And like I said, 3 games in 8 days, they were going to be short on that. And I think in the end, the fatigue took over. So I think that's why we saw these two teams coming from a 2-week break getting the better results.
Yeah, the other thing that we've got to look at is that it was the top seed Waterhouse and the number 2 seeds Cavalier that got the edge in the first set of the playoffs, because these were the top 2 teams in the regular season and holding their form here in the playoffs. I
think, as they say, when you have a league table or even for playing a series, a game, it shows the better teams over a period. So, yeah, maybe because of that, yeah, but I think it was very close. And even in early goings, the teams coming from the just could not take advantage of the team that had a lot of games in their legs. And that was because they took some time to get up to speed. But you'd want to feel that the teams that were match sharp or would have been match sharp because they were playing a lot of games would have been able to take advantage of the slow start from the teams at rest. But that could not happen either because of the fatigue. So in the end, yes, the 2 top seed prevailed. Yeah. But I think it could balance.
Yeah. Let's go specifically to the games now and look at what happened there. Again, on Friday, we'd spoken about Shaquille Bradford, the 20-year-old, who has now scored 5 goals in the last 4 matches, and he got the winner for Waterhouse. Your assessment of the Waterhouse victory, how well did they do, and was it that Mount Pleasant weren't as good as they needed to be?
No, I think Mount Pleasant was quite good early in the game. In fact, they were causing a lot of problems for Waterhouse, who were playing more like a 43 system. And we know that there's weak on the flank, do not stop the pass going in the channel, and Waterhouse wasn't doing that very well early in the game. And Mount Pleasant was having a lot of joy. Devontae Campbell and Fletcher was getting some joy. But once Waterhouse made the adjustment, and we saw that even Bradford and Fletcher, along sometimes with Thomas, who got back and blocked those passing lanes, and Waterhouse pretty much grew into the game. Mount Pleasant, they did have a lot of chance in the game as well. Creslan Hall, he hit a shot that kissed the crossbar. He also had a ball played across to him from Fletcher after Isaac played a raking pass out of the middle of the park. So, yes, it is still close. But what Waterhouse did well as the game wore on, I think fatigue set in for Mount Pleasant. Waterhouse grew into the game, and in the end, the fresher legs allowed them to be able to take the chance that they got.
Yeah. How did Coach Wally Downs assess what happened in the game? Because that was only his second loss since he took over from Teagat Davis in mid-July. I know he has spoken very respectfully of Waterhouse's ability. Your thoughts and maybe what he feels about getting back a revenge win on Wednesday, which they would need to if they're to get to the final.
Yeah, his 2 losses would have come to Waterhouse. So this is the second time losing to Waterhouse this season. And yes, he spoke of them highly when asked what he felt made them so difficult to play against. And he just saying they had a lot of quality. They're very good going forward and good in possession as well. So yeah, he has high respect for Waterhouse, but he felt his team didn't really pass the ball as quickly as he would have wanted them to. Despite that, he felt that his team did well enough to be able to come away from the game with something. In fact, he went as far as to say he felt his team was the better team on the day. but went away losing. So yeah, he will come back into the next leg feeling that he has a very good chance, not just because of the scoreline being 1-0, but he felt that his team did very well. And in truth, they did carve out some good opportunities, just didn't get on the score sheet. So I still think in that game it's evenly balanced. I'm still on the edge with Waterhouse, and I had called it 2-1 the last time out, 1 goal in it. It ended 1-0. So I think Waterhouse may still be able to carry it over, but it's very close. Mount Pleasant is right there in it.
Yeah, let's go quickly to the Cavalier Tivoli game now. Tivoli, their 9-game unbeaten run snapped here by a smart Cavalier team. They had to wait a long time in the game, 85th minute, I think, for the winner, though, Cavalier. But a very important result for them.
Yeah, lots of their goals this season had come late. And you said a smart win from Cavalier. I think it was a smart setup. I think Woodhouse, give him some credit. He got his tactics spot on for this game. He started with Kemoy Simpson, usually a defender for him. He started with him in an attacking midfield role. And when asked his thinking behind that, he just wanted to stop Waterhouse playing out from the back. And even when he committed players high up the pitch and Waterhouse would seek to break, he wanted someone to break up that attack or to just disrupt the rhythm. And Simpson did that. In commentary, I did say I didn't see Simpson playing the entire 90 minutes. I felt he had a role, and he did that very well. And as the game wore on and the legs went, as we saw fatigue setting in, he brought on the speedy Anderson, and it was a counter-attacking play at lightning speed. And give Murray a lot of credit. He waited until Anderson got right on the shoulder of Satchwell, who was the deepest line player for Tivoli, and he just finished beautifully. Took a lot of touches, but in the end, he did finish well.
Yeah, Tivoli, a very difficult defence line to breach, Dewight. We know that in Barrington Price and young Pennycook, there are two central defenders that are very, very difficult to get past. But Cavalier going with an advantage here, and knowing Rudolph Speed's astute nature as a coach, you'd want to think that he'll do everything in his power to ensure that they don't give up the 1-goal advantage for Wednesday's return.
He'll probably do that. I think Coach Philip Williams just got a trick wrong there. I think he went with the very same team coming out of the second leg. I felt it was just too much for them. And he needed to change things up. Like Satchwell in the middle of the park, he does a lot of work, goes outside, breaking it. As the game went on, he did the legs to chase back or to cover in the middle of the park. And I think with the fact that they will now have 4 days, pretty much, or 3 full days to recover, he will have a better showing, I feel. Tivoli was just blunt up front. Dewight Gray, he cut a frustrated figure all game long.
Yeah.
He got a yellow card because he was so frustrated in the game. They just couldn't get anything going in the attacking.
Yeah, all right, Dwight.
It was 8 targets and 8.
Yeah, a little bit of audio problems there toward the end. Thanks, Dwight. We've enjoyed talking to you on this one as we look ahead to the return of the semi-finals coming up on Wednesday. And George Cavalier and Waterhouse only with 1-0 advantage here. Very, very slender advantages, and you have to think that that both ties are still wide open.
Yeah, but Michael Holding likes to speak about runs on the tins, and the fact is that 1 goal is on the scoreboard,
yes,
and Cavalier and Waterhouse have those goals, so the advantage is theirs.
Yeah, certainly is. We go to break. Our interactive segment comes next.